Hi guys, so obviously I can't play Dungeons and Dragons without, well, a dungeon and a dragon. And that's exactly what I've got here. And I got this awesome figure from Across the Realms. There's a link in the description, guys, go check them out. Tons and tons of wonderful creatures and heroes, basically all kinds of things there. So yeah, get the STL, download that. And this is where I really love the Anycubic Photon Mono X printer that I have, as the base plate is so large I can pretty much get most of the dragon in one go on it. Which is great. We then pop that on a little USB stick, take that over to the printer, pop it in, push a couple of buttons, and away she pops. And that's when we go off, have a cup of tea, well, do a few other things, and a few hours later, and yeah, they come off really well. So yeah, lovely big base plate this, guys. Definitely worth checking this printer out. And then once the parts are all cleaned and glued, this is what we have. So there are a few little gaps in between where the parts sort of join each other. So I'm just going to fill them up using this sort of milliput kind of stuff. Can't remember what this stuff was called. It's milliput, but cheaper, basically. And as it's only going to go in a few sort of small little areas, this stuff is certainly good enough for what I need it for. As it is just a case of filling in these little gaps and then getting hold of my little sharp pokey tool and basically sort of pushing it in and manipulating it so it just sort of, yeah, covers up the little cracks. This does obviously get cleaned up afterwards. I kind of go over it with another tool and that gets rid of any extra little bits that are sort of lying around. Yeah, so the bit actually went together really well. Just a few little bits with the wings and the head, not too noticeable, but small little gaps. And then when it's primed, well, you can't see any gaps. So yeah, lovely little figure. So using the speed paints, I'm basically just going to use the two colours really on this, the red and the orange. And you can see my little pot holder that I made in a previous video. Works really well. Yeah, no more spillages now, which is awesome. Which is why I'm now using these paints on top of my desk without putting any sort of covering underneath. And yeah, paint these things as normal. So these speed paints, well, they really are living up to the name, which is pretty cool. Yeah, they go on really quick, really well, covers nicely, and in just one coat you've got a printed minifigure, or big figure in this case, that yeah, I would happily sort of put on display using dioramas and all the rest of it. Obviously you could go over this afterwards and do any extra sort of highlights, any kind of shadows, any detail work and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, in this case I am literally just using these two paints to go over this, to see just how good a finish you can get just by simply using a couple of speed paints. As obviously the idea is you can just paint with speed paints and yeah, job done. Don't need to do any of the extra sort of bits unless you obviously really want to. So yeah, goes on really well. What I do later is once it is dried, there's a few areas I go over it again. As I sort of briefly or previously mentioned in a different video, once everything's dried, by going over it with a second coat of obviously the paint, it does make certain areas darker, which is pretty cool because then you can have a variety of sort of shades by using the one paint. So it dries reasonably quick, not too bad. So yeah, let it dry fully and then go over it again, and obviously you can get some darker areas, which is pretty cool. So I've almost finished making all the sets, sort of dioramas that I need for my little campaign, Tomb of Horrors, or my version of the Tomb of Horrors. If there's any kind of sets that you guys can think of that you'd like to see, by all means let me know, because I want to make a variety of sort of D&D themed sets, whether they're ones I'm going to be using in actual campaigns or just ones I'm using to sort of showcase and show off any miniatures that I start painting. So yeah, let me know in the comments, guys, if there's any kind of set you sort of think I should make. And there we go. So this model really didn't take long at all to paint, which is pretty impressive. As I say, I'm pleased with how it looks and would definitely use this in a campaign. And obviously, as you see here, I can use it in this set. And yeah, I think it looks pretty awesome for using a couple of paints, done pretty quickly, job done. So yeah, not a lot more to say on that other than me start waffling on. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I just want to say a quick shout out and thank you to all my patrons, as well as the sponsors, for helping making it possible for me to sort of keep making these videos and obviously buying the materials I need to build stuff. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Leave comments down below, hit the like button, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, take care, bye for now.